Hi everyone, so welcome to my new video. I haven't done one for quite a while. I've been really busy and I just couldn't think of anything that I wanted to vlog about really. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been sort of meeting friends, and because it's summertime, and I went to the Victorious Festival yesterday, which was great, and I saw Ollie Murs, he was great, and yeah, I just had a great time. So yeah, so I thought it was probably a bit overdue, sort of due my next video really. And today I wanted to talk about things that annoy me. So annoy me because I have CP, or because of the way other people are, or things that I've witnessed within the disabled community that, to be fair, and excuse my language, really piss me off. And I thought it'd be a good time to get that out there. So yeah, here's my list. So number one, having to queue at disabled toilets when the people in front of me aren't disabled. Now, I realise that to some people, I don't appear to have a disability either, so they could well have an invisible impairment that isn't noticeable, and that's why they're in the queue. Fair enough. But yesterday, I went to Victorious, as I said, and was enjoying the festival with my friend, and I went to visit the toilet, and I can only use the disabled porta toilets when I go to festivals for the railings and various other reasons. And multiple times the people in front of me that were queuing were not disabled. They were using that queue because it was the shortest queue and they didn't want to wait. And one particular time I went up to the cubicle, and there was a young lad waiting. Obviously his friend was probably in there. He was waiting to use the toilet, and I said to him, "Oh, are you waiting?" And with unbelievable attitude, which was not necessary, he just turned around and went, "Yeah, someone in there and I'm waiting, but there's more toilets round there, you can use them." So I thought, I'm not having that. So I said, "Actually, you can use those. I have cerebral palsy. I have a right to use that toilet. It is an accessible toilet for disabled people. Are you disabled?" And he was like, "No." Looked me up and down. I was like, "Look up and down all you want, mate." I said, "But I do have a physical impairment. So I'm afraid that once your friend is finished his business, you will have to wait." He was clearly, quite desperate for the toilet, but I don't care. So when his friend came out of the cubicle, they huffed off, probably to find another very long queue, and I went about my business. But that really annoyed me. Which leads me to my next thing. Number two, having to explain myself. So it's a perfect example there. Queuing at the toilet, accessible toilet, I have a right to use it, and yet I had to explain myself to someone else that wasn't disabled, that was in a queue for disabled people. Perfect example of that. Having to explain myself. Hate it. Links in slightly with number three. People being impatient with me when I'm trying to move or complete tasks. So if I'm in their way, they'll get all huffy and puffy. They won't actually give me a chance to move, and I think that's rude. Or I'll be packing my shopping at the supermarket. It takes me a little bit longer than usual, and everyone in the queue, "What are you in the rush for? Like, if you're going out shopping, give yourself loads of time. Like, sorry, I'm trying to chuck stuff in this bag as fast as I can, I'm not doing it on purpose. Like, don't be so impatient." Rude. Just little things like that. Or I'm generally struggling with something and people say, "Why can't you do that? I don't understand." Just do it, it's not hard. It's not hard for you, but it is for me actually. Thank you very much. That annoys me very much. So yeah. Number four, people getting annoyed at me when I sit at the front of the bus. Right, okay. So I don't know what it's like anywhere else in the world, but the buses in England, you go onto the bus, you have a wheelchair space that's reserved for a wheelchair user. The other side of that, you have another space that you could probably fit a pushchair in, that the seats collapse up, and then you have a couple of rows of priority seats. They are for elderly and disabled people at the front of the bus. Now, I could get to the back of the bus if the bus driver didn't pull off so quick as soon as I took my ticket. but they pull off pretty quick, so I don't really have time to make it to the back of the bus safely without falling over because the vehicle is moving. So I always sit at the front, which again, I'm allowed, is a priority seat. I have a disability, I'm allowed to sit there. But what annoys me is when people get annoyed at me and they give me horrible looks and they mutter, "Oh, I hate it when someone sits in the priority seat. Oh, it really winds me up." And I think, well, I'm not going to sit here for no reason, actually. I have a right to be here. And linking in with that is a very controversial subject that I have an opinion on, which I am going to express because it's my vlog and I can say what I like. I'm not moving out of the way for a fat person. End of story. I'm sorry. I know there are some conditions out there, Prader-Willi syndrome, overactive thyroid, that can make a person vastly overweight. They struggle with that condition all their lives. I'm sorry about that. I'd move for you. I really would. But there used to be a lady that'd get on the same bus as me every day with bags full of crisps, chocolate, everything. And she was, morbidly obese lady. Not saying a horrible person. She's probably a nice enough person. I was sat in a priority seat. Now, she would take up 1.5 seats on the bus. So I was sat in a priority seat, and there was a seat right next to me. So 2 seats. She expected me to move because she needed a little bit more than 1 standard seat. No. That is what I've got to say to that. No. And she sort of looked at me, she was like looking at the seat, looking at me. And I said, "You're welcome to sit there." I remained polite. I said, "Look, you're welcome to sit there next to me. No problem with it. I'm not moving for you." The bus was full anyway, so I would have to have stand up, which wouldn't be safe for me. And yeah, I just think I'm not moving out the way for you. Your lifestyle choice. 9 times out of 10, as I say, a very, very small minority of people are that way because of something that isn't their fault. The rest of you, lifestyle choice. I'm sorry, it's my blog. I'll say what I want. You can slate me, you can troll me in the comments. I really don't care, right? I am not moving out of your way and standing up and giving my seat to you when you had a lot to do with how you are. Now, I make bad lifestyle decisions. Everybody does. We all do it. You could argue, well, what if someone's a smoker? What if this, what if that? It's not 100% inevitable all the time that if you make that choice you'll end up like that. But overeating, you're going to end up fat. I'm not moving for you. You're not disabled. I don't care what anyone says. You can be disabled because of your weight, but you're not disabled. I'm not moving for you. I'd happily share my seat with you. I'd happily move over a bit, whatever, but I'm not standing up for you on a packed bus. No. And that's mostly aimed at that woman, actually, because she's very insensitive, extremely rude. Number 5. People with pushchairs on buses refusing to move out of the wheelchair space for a wheelchair user. Now, I have seen a bus driver refuse a wheelchair user access because somebody refused to move their pushchair out of the wheelchair space. I'm going to be very honest. That space is not for you. It says this space is saved for a wheelchair user. Please move if necessary. Which means I don't give a shit what you've got on your pushchair. I don't care if you've got 10 weeks worth of shopping on there. I don't care if you've got bars of valuable gold at the bottom. I don't care if you've got your brand new Christmas turkey. I really do not care. That is not for you. And you should get on that bus knowing, yes, you can use that space. If there's nobody in it, fine. Nobody at your stops in a wheelchair getting on the same bus, fine. Or, you've only got a couple stops to go, fine. But as soon as a wheelchair user gets on, you move. That space is not for you. Honestly, I'm rubbish at being angry. It's making me laugh. Let's see what else we got. Ranting on. Oh yeah, number 6. People acting differently once they find out I have cerebral palsy. Now, we could be having a lovely conversation. We're chatting away. And it comes up. Or they ask, "Oh, have you hurt your leg?" That sort of thing. Sometimes I tell them, "Oh yeah, sharp bite," all the rest of it. But, just joking around. As soon as they find out that I have cerebral palsy, oh, Oh, bless you. That must be so awful. I'm sorry. Oh, is there anything I can do? Do you want me to help you? Oh, would you like to sit down? Or would you like my chair? Thanks for your consideration, but you were treating me like a human being a minute ago. Now you're treating me like a puppy you've just found in a pet shop, and I really don't appreciate it. They tap you on the head, they give you that half-arm hug. I don't know you well enough for that. You know, oh, well, you wouldn't be, oh, wow, you know. Okay, so, yeah, that annoys me. You know, you speak to me like a person. I am a person of full capacity to make my own choices, and I should be treated equally to you in every aspect of my life. Do not treat me differently. I don't like it. Number 7. When people say, oh, you have cerebral palsy, do you know so-and-so? Name someone that they know that also has it. And I think, no, we don't all know each other. That's like me saying to you, oh, you've got arthritis. Do you know my nan? She has arthritis. No, we don't all meet at a convention every year and exchange numbers. Although, on that point, we really should, because that would be great. I mean, I know a lot of you that I subscribe to are like from the US and like Northern England, and I'd happily travel up to where you are for a convention, just all of us together for a drink and a laugh. It would be amazing. We've just got to look into that. Most of you are in the States. I'll happily come over there. Yeah, so that annoys me as well. I don't like that. That really bugs me. So that's my list of things that annoy me. Some of the things I've said, a lot of you are going to go, oh, that's a bit mean. But the thing is, that is my opinion and it's my blog and I can say what I like. I just want to reiterate, I don't discriminate against overweight people. You know, they're still people and I'll still treat them as such. But what annoys me is when they use it as an excuse. When there are people that, you know, were born with the condition they have, and I don't doubt that, you know, they probably have, I just want to put it at the end, they probably have their own issues as to why they're like that. But the example I gave was that one particular woman using that in order to make me feel bad for sitting in a disabled priority seat that I have a right to sit in, and that's why it annoyed me. Because, you know, yes, it could probably tire her out a bit more being stood up, but probably not as much as it's going to me. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think that that is my opinion and that is the way I feel. And a few of you will probably think, oh, he's such a horrible person. But I'm not a horrible person. As I say, I take everyone at face value. You know, I'm nice to everybody. But I just think that sometimes people don't always help themselves and they end up in a certain way because of the choices that they've made. And when they then try and use that to play the, you know, the disability card, I think that's just wrong. Completely wrong. I just disagree with it completely. And I've said that to someone before and they've said, oh, well, you know, but what about people that smoke and end up unwell because they smoke? And my answer to that is, yeah, smoking is bad. It is awful. But there's not a 100% chance that they would end up permanently disabled from it. You know, there's a high chance, but it's not 100%. Whereas, you know, overeating and making the wrong choices and not exercising, there is a high chance that you're going to end up very unfit and very unhealthy and very overweight. And as somebody that has worked so hard all my life to have all the mobility I have, I just don't see why someone would put themselves in a predicament where that was taken away. So that's to clear up that before anyone starts running at me telling me that I'm evil. I'm not. That is, I think, a perfectly, you know, normal opinion to have. So yeah, so there's my list anyway, guys. Please let me know what you think. I have been watching all your videos. I was really pleased to see the other day actually that John Quinn, you put up another video, and I love all your videos, watch them all, so that was great. And JC plus 3, I'm following your vlogs quite closely at the moment as well, and I'm really enjoying seeing all your videos. Your dog's so cute as well, so sweet. Yeah, watching all of them. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Comment, subscribe, any suggestions, let me know, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.